The healthcare system is designed to make people panic. That is what I've learned so far. I had an MRI. It was actually a horrifying experience. Don't recommend going to the hospital. But anyway, I had the MRI and I was checking out. You know, they come on up. They call your name. They're like, okay, blah, blah, blah. I had my $25 ready to go. You know, my copay. I was ready. I was prepared. No, I wasn't. I wasn't prepared. I thought I was not prepared. There was no preparation for this type of thing. She calls me up. She's like, okay, look over the bill. And I was like, yeah, cool. I look over. I legit sat down on the ground in front of this reception area. Now, mind you, this is a major teaching hospital. There's hundreds of people walking by. But when I saw this line, it said billing, like build or something like that. I can't remember exactly the language, but the number I remember because it was $10,000. Now, mind you, I had learned when I was switching insurances that you don't look at the charges. Like, the charges are just like everything that could possibly be charged for, and it's not necessarily what you're gonna pay, right? So I didn't look at the charges. The charges were much more than $10,000. This, though, didn't say charges. It said like billing or something like that. Like something billing. I wish I could remember the exact terminology. If you have this on your bill, please show it to me because it says like billing or something like that. And next to the word billing was $10,000. And I sat down because I was like, remember my $25? I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna turn that into $10,000 like before I go. Like, I was like, and then I was thinking, I was like calculating. I was like, but they've already done the MRI. What if I just leave? Like, not like they don't have my whole government name. Like, they don't have my whole address. Like, I was like, anyway, I was panicking. So the lady at the desk, mind you, there are people in line. The lady at the desk is like, ma'am. And I was like, hi. I just don't think I understand the bill. Like, I was like, I have $25 and like this says 10,000. She was like, turn it on the back. And I was like, turn it on the back. I was like, oh, there's a back to this. I was like, oh. And then I got super excited. I was like, there's a back. It's just gonna say, I was like, whew. I took a whole deep breath. I was like, oh, whew. There's a back to it. Whew, duh, Jamayca, of course there's a back. I turn on the back and it does say patient responsibility. Patient responsibility is what you are actually responsible for. Billed or billing is what they bill your insurance. And the charges are the total amount of everything that they did to you that day. So I had only learned about the charges. I didn't know that there was a difference between the billed and the patient responsibility. Up until this point, I hadn't really been sick, so I hadn't really been going to the doctor for real, except for my Obamacare checkups that are already free. So I didn't have to think. I wasn't really thinking too much about how much I was spending. That was a privilege. And, you know, thank you, Obamacare, also. But I was not prepared for that line. I like legit took a sigh of relief. I was like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, so $1,000. Okay, so it still was gonna cost me $1,000, and I still didn't know how I was gonna pay it, but I still walked out of there with my head held high, being like, I don't have to come up with $10,000. I do not have to steal anybody's car. It is gonna be, I was going through all these scenarios. I was like, so if I steal somebody's car and then they give me the insurance, I'm just playing, no worries. I wasn't actually gonna do that. I was probably just gonna be like, y'all need to bill me monthly and I'm paying this for forever, but I already had the service done, so I was like, okay. And honestly, that's actually how I ended up paying the $1,000 that I owed. They billed me $100 for 10 months. It ended up being fine. Now, 10,000, I still don't. Make sure you understand that Patient responsibility is the only thing you need to worry about for real. The charges are, you should look at them just to make sure that they're not doing things that they shouldn't be doing. That has actually happened to me before. And you should definitely, look at what they billed your insurance, because when you look at your insurance, they usually have you pay a percentage of what was billed. So they were billed $10,000 and I had to pay 10% of what they were billed, and they paid 90%. So that's kind of how we got to that number. But I was like legit panic attack on the floor. Not cute. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about how to tackle your insurance. Make sure you double check everything, even though all of those lines and classifications can be a little bit scary. It's important that you know how much your health costs, know how much you need to pay, and know when you need to sit down at the reception desk. Catch you next time. Bye.